What is up, coaches? Welcome to your next day of Coach Basics. Today, I want to talk to you guys about inviting. And I feel like inviting is so important, and it probably is because it's the first vital behavior, which means you need to do it. And it's listed 3 times, which means you really need to do it. Invite, invite, invite. And the reason is, unless you invite someone, they're probably not going to join you. Every once in a while, like Dawn said, on her day, you might get lucky and have someone who's just been watching you and reaches out to you. But most of the time, people need you to reach out to them. And I would be willing to bet that the person, you, watching this video, was one of those people. And someone had to reach out to you, whether it was me or any of the coaches in this training or just one of the coaches who put you in it. You had to be invited. So I want to start with that because I feel like for not just me, but for a lot of my coaches, the idea of inviting people is freaky. And it's so funny. And I think a lot of you are worried that you're going to come off as salesy. Well, you might if you are not careful, courteous, and consistent. And the reason I use those words is because, first of all, careful. If you're not diligent in making sure you're actually talking to people. So I've seen in not just other MLMs, but I've seen Beachbody coaches do this too. Friend request someone and then send them some big long message about how I just became a coach and I wonder if you're interested. Lazy, okay? So that's not being careful. Courteous. You invite them and 1,000 of their other friends to a group without chatting with them in a million years. Or you tell them about your invite and you don't talk with them first. Not courteous. And then consistent. Another thing that I'm guilty of doing is developing conversations with people and then letting them die off, or inviting people who say, yeah, next month or whatever, and I'm not consistently checking in. That's not going to work either. So those are the 3 C's I feel like are good. Be careful, be courteous, be consistent. So when it comes to inviting, what does that mean? Do you understand that inviting can be as simple as inviting someone to be your friend, to go to coffee, to come over and work out with you, to a free group you're having? It doesn't always have to be to your challenge group and to the coaching opportunity. Just starting those conversations is a part of the invitation process. And actually, I think it's better if you do those things before you put it out there that you have something you'd like to invite them to. But yeah, the next one would be, so you've been talking to someone, you've been building that relationship, invite them. Now here's what's beautiful about Beachbody. This is what I love about it. Everything you need to be successful is in your Coach Online office. There is a how to build relationships guide in your Coach Online office, and it gives you the form process. And basically, the form process is just how to talk to people. Form is an acronym to help you think of things to ask someone when you're talking to them. Family and friends is your F. Occupation, where do they work, is your O. Recreation, what do they do for fun? And you've got 4, right? The M, that's where you find your message. So after you've had this ping pong conversation, a normal conversation, you're asking questions, you're getting to know them, you're building the relationship, that's when you send the message of your invitation. And if you're worried about how to do that, guess what? The Coach Online office has an invitation guide, and it gives you a step-by-step process to effectively invite people. And one thing that you're going to have happen when you're inviting is you're going to want to jump processes and skip steps, because you are going to have customers who ask right away. You're going to say, hey, I've got this challenge group coming up. Would you be interested? Well, how much does it cost? And I can see you. You're sitting there. Well, she's 130. And like one of the programs is 60. And so it's that much. Or you can get a challenge pack. No. Don't go there yet. You're going to freak them out. I know they just asked. And I know you want to be honest, but you actually don't know the answer. Do you know why you don't know the answer? Because you don't know what their needs are. So you need to say, well, first, I need to find out what program, meal plan would be best for you, and then we can figure out the price, because it depends, and it does. If they're just getting the portion fix, what is that, like $17? Or if they're gonna get the Big Mama Jammer challenge pack with the Tony Horton P90X, it's like $300 or you don't know. So don't skip the steps in that process, and it gives you questions to ask. It gives you really good questions to ask, and you can also reformulate things so it sounds like you. One of the books I would recommend for this process is Go Pro by Eric Worre. He gives you some great invitation scripts. I would also recommend that you put those in your own words because I've been busted for using a script. Another tip that I have for you when it comes to inviting, I know we all just love Facebook. I'm guilty. I'm so good behind a screen, I think. But the truth is, in person, you are so much better. Please get confident and meet up with these people in person and get them excited one-on-one, and then have them sign up right then and there, because you know what happens online. They're sitting there, they're like watching TV and doing nothing, and then a day or two later it's gone. You gotta get them face to face and get them excited, or get on the phone and walk through the order with them. And the last thing real quick that I want to touch on is make sure you're inviting not just to your challenge group, but to this coaching opportunity. And the best way to invite people is use your challenge groups. And Dawn and I talked about that. Make that your coach training, if you will. They're already coaches by the time they've done it. But you find those people that are passionate and powerful, and they do amazing things in the group, and you really want to make sure you invite them. But do not prejudge people. Invite everyone, and invite people that aren't in your challenge groups. And if you see someone on Facebook and you're not sure they really want to be in a challenge group, you should invite them to that anyway. But they would be an amazing coach, invite them. We have live sneak peeks. We would be happy to do 3-way calls, whether we want to help you. And that not only helps you get comfortable, it also lets them know that no one in this business is alone. So we're always here to help you with the invitation process. But my favorite thing is that everything you need is in the Coach Online office. Your invitation guide, your how to build relationships guide, Inviting 101 is all in the office. So make sure you're doing that. Your call to action today is to start forming those relationships with people. Invite them. I want you to invite at least one person to be your friend on Facebook today. I want you to invite at least one person out to coffee or to come work out with you or to go to a play date or dinner, I don't care. Invite someone to a face-to-face thing. Invite one person to your next challenge group. Even if you don't really have one, you can put them in ours, totally fine. And invite someone to the coaching opportunity, even if it's just family. Even if you're just gonna go invite your mom or your brother or your husband, or if you really want, you can practice and invite your kid, I don't care. But I want you to invite 4 people today to those 4 different things: to be your friend, to go meet you in person, to join your challenge group, to be a coach. Eat that frog, okay? Thank you.